Welcome to Corporation China.
So Shenzhen as a city is really known for two things. One is its manufacturing capabilities, especially for consumer electronics products. And second, its gravitation for talents or human resources, especially on the product development and research and development disciplines.
Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, Sony, Canon, they all manufacture products here in Shenzhen. In fact, 90% of the world's electronics are made at least in part in this city. Everything just costs less in China, so labor costs less too. Where a factory in the United States might pay upwards of $10 to $15 an hour, a Chinese laborer would happily accept $3 or $4 an hour in Shenzhen. When I was there, I withdrew the equivalent of $80 from an ATM upon arrival and left 4 days later with cash left over. A 30-minute taxi ride cost about $7 US. A full meal at a local place was about $3. But China isn't cheap entirely naturally. China has artificially depressed the value of their currency. Up until 2005, the Chinese government just said that the exchange rate was 8.27 won per dollar, and that was that. They then went a few years allowing it to increase in value within a margin, but in 2008 they pegged its value again to make Chinese exports more attractive during the financial crisis. Nowadays the government just picks an exchange rate daily and lets the currency fluctuate from it by up to 2%. This just makes it so Western companies can buy more for less. China also doesn't charge taxes on exports, while the US doesn't charge taxes on imports. The US doesn't even charge customs fees for some products like tablet PCs, so some products can make it all the way from their factory in China to stores in the US completely tax-free. When I was in Shenzhen, I visited a company called Anker. They make all sorts of consumer electronics, but chances are if you have something from them, it's one of their portable batteries. I asked their CEO why so many electronic companies are now based in Shenzhen.
So the advantage is that we're close to the supply chain, so everything is faster, right? So instead of you do a mock-up and see it like 2 weeks later, here actually you send them designed mock-up and you receive it like 3 days later.
In Shenzhen, there are markets where you can buy every part imaginable. There are factories ready to build prototypes in a matter of days. There are engineers ready to work at a drop of a hat. Development just happens faster in Shenzhen. A US company might use the same factories as one based in Shenzhen, but the geographical distance makes production slower. In addition, word travels fast in Shenzhen. A few years ago, Anker was first to market with a technology called Power IQ that allows for faster device charging. The engineers from Anker told me that a big reason they were able to go to market before the Western companies was because they heard about it first thanks to the proximity to other engineers and companies. Shenzhen just produces things better and faster, but a product isn't just a physical item.
Honestly, being in Shenzhen for this company is an advantage for the supply chain that we can develop very good products with competitive price. But for the brand, it's also a kind of a challenge.
What Shenzhen can't build as well is brands. Certain companies like Anker have been able to an extent thanks to smart PR and marketing, but some other companies just don't bother. Lucrative Western consumers want familiar and approachable feeling brands, but cultural differences and geographic distance often make Chinese-based companies just seem different. All across Shenzhen, I saw these boxes filled with rentable portable chargers, and as it turns out, it was an Anker product. But the Chinese-designed product didn't really succeed in the Western market.
So actually, talking about Anker box, the product is originally designed for the Western market. However, actually, our trial in Seattle wasn't that successful. So we realized, first of all, US people actually, when they go to a bar, they actually really go there drinking instead of looking at their phones.